for storage. So, packaging, as we have studied last time also, it is very, very necessary for the products to be packaged properly, for the products to be kept proper so that the products can last for longer period of properly, then products will be ruined or products will have to suffer from varieties of the problems that damaging of the product or that leads to things that generally helps in ruining the value in the market. Proper of the packaging of every substances is extremely important. Without the proper packaging of the substances from basically we would protect the product for storage and for distribution for the in the coming periods of time, or to keep the product safer for longer period. Like the packaging of several other substances are engaging of the medicinal plants important role in safeguarding the value of the medicinal plants for longer period of time. Similarly, packaging of the milk and milk products properly is also very, very important that it can be stored for the longer period of time. It can be preserved without any difficulty and it can be transported, meaning the quality of the milk product as well as meat product. So, packaging is extremely important section of the milk and milk product or for the protection of the meat product so that it can be utilized in the coming period of time. Packaging not only help in protecting the milk products from the from ruining the product, but it also varieties of the milk and milk products from being damaged from dust and dirt particles that are prevalent in the surrounding environment. Besides these, it also helps in protecting the varieties of the substances. Surrounding environment. The environment comprises of dust and dirt particles, huge amount of dust and dirt particles is present in the surrounding environment. To protect from these dust and dirt particles that is prevalent in the surrounding is important. Besides this, it is also important so that we can protect it from varieties of the viruses and bacteria. Varieties of viruses and bacteria. If we leave it open for a longer period of time, these bacteria and viruses may invade inside the milk and milk products or invade inside the products that we are storing for the future use. So, to protect these substances from viruses, it is very necessary to provide the proper packaging of the substances. Similarly, the packaging of the substance also preserving the substance for longer period of time. If we do not package it properly, then these substances will be used and these substances may not be suitable for the future utilization. Rasik Bhandari, please mute yourself. Rasik Bhandari,
Yes, ma'am.
please mute yourself. Substances, preservation of the milk and milk products for the future use is very, very important. If we do not preserve it, if we do not package it properly, we cannot preserve it for the longer period of time. Besides this, transportation of the substance also becomes very, very difficult if it is not packaged properly. So, basically ensure us protection of the substances against the odd condition as well as preservation of the substances for longer period of time and transportation of the milk and without any difficulty. Not maintain the quality of the substances for the very longer period of substances processed or once the milk and milk products are processed properly, these dairy products or the meat products should be packaged properly before they are consumed by the consumer. Once the product is processed properly, before it reaches to the consumer or before we consume these substances, these substances play a very important role in protecting the substances for time. As we all live in a family, it is advisable for us or it is very necessary for us to store the substances in a refrigerating temperature. The proper refrigerating temperature is extremely to maintain the temperature is extremely necessary in order to protect these substances for longer period of time. At least for the milk and milk products, it is necessary to store the substances for 0 degrees centigrade of temperature. The milk and milk products gets damaged easily. एकदम कीटो फाटने वाले these substances should be refrigerated properly and refrigerated at the temperature of 0 degree centigrade. Especially the substance like milk as well as substance like curd. It should be kept at the normal temperature of 0 degree. Other processed milk as well as dairy products should be packaged inside the proper packaging. There are larger number of the packages that are present in the varieties of the forms, varieties of shapes and sizes as well as varieties of the materials are used to make these particular substances. There are glass containers are present. Similarly, there is presence of the plastic pouches in which we can store for longer period of time as well as there are also presence of the tin cans. Similarly, there are also presence of the plastic cans in our surrounding area in which we can easily package these milks without any difficulty. As these substances have very shorter period of time, especially the curd as well as the milk has very short period of time, it can be stored. It should be stored inside the refrigerator at 0 degree centigrade and then it should be consumed very quickly. These substances can be stored for these substances can only be stored for certain days. The milk and curd can be stored for only for the days. Because of this, they should be stored at the 0 degree centigrade temperature and they should be consumed within few days. But certain substances like the cheese, butter, these substances can be stored for the longer period of time. They can be utilized for at least 6 to 9 months of the time. So they can be stored in a proper places where the optimum temperature is managed and can be consumed for 6 to 9 months, 9 months period of time. So basically, these substances should be stored inside a refrigerator. All of these substances, whether it is the cheese, butter, milk, curd, or any other substances, should be packaged properly. They should be kept inside the plastic pouches. They should be kept inside the tin cans or the glass bottles or plastic bottles, and they should be stored inside the refrigerator so that they can be consumed for the longer period of time. Besides, we all are very familiar during the packaging. The labeling of the substances should also be done by the company or the dairy farm themselves. The labeling should be done so that we will know about the total amount of the milk and milk product that is present inside it, total amount of the nutrients that can be obtained from the particular substances, as well as the major thing that we will know about from the packaging and thing of the substance is that we will be able to know about the manufacture date as well as about the expiry date of those substances so that it will be easier for the consumers to utilize these substances and to utilize these substances without ruining these substances or without eating the expired products. Besides this, the meat products that we obtain from the animals also should be stored at the temperature of 0 degree centigrade. The buffalo milk that we eat should be freezed at the temperature of 0 degree centigrade. Not only the buffalo meat, but the meat of any other substances, any other animals should be freezed at 0 degree centigrade or the lower so that it can remain fresher for a longer period of time. As we all are very familiar, like the milk and the curd, these meat products also should be packaged properly in the freezer paper bag or in the freezer plastic bags. The plastic bags are present, or plastic bags are available in the market area where we can easily wrap the substances and keep it inside the freezer whose temperature is 0 degree centigrade or than 0 degree centigrade. We should keep these substances packaged inside and keep it inside the freezer, and it should be consumed within a 10 period of time. It cannot be stored for very longer period of time. Though we leave it inside the refrigerator, it cannot be consumed after certain period of time. So it should be consumed as soon as possible. Maintain the optimum level of the temperature for storing it for certain days or for few days. After few days, we should eat these substances. We should always consume these substances so that we can always have the best quality of the milk, as well as those tenderness, juiciness of the meat can be obtained only after eating it, only after consuming it within the few days of refrigeration. Similarly, after the packaging and storing of the substances, it is very necessary to supply these substances to the market area. Our optimum goal is to supply it into the market area so that we can obtain the profit from the farm animals or from the dairy products that we
people
generally
pattern है
consume. So, this hard work that is done from the rearing of the cattle, that is done from the rearing of the cows, to the collection of the milk, supplying it to the dairy farm, processing of the milk, as well as converting it into the variety of the milk products. These all are done so that we can obtain certain amount of economic benefit from these particular substances. So it is very necessary to find the suitable market area for supplying these products into the market area. If there are no consumers to consume our products, if the customers are not present, if the market area is not available, it is not possible for us to manage. The optimum goal of the farmers, the optimum goal of the dairy producers is generally to obtain the profit by selling the milk and milk products or by selling the meat products to the market area. So basically, very important role to tell whether we are going to get certain amount of profit from our business or we are going to have to lose money if there is no proper market in our surrounding area. So it is very necessary before we start the farmland, before we start the processing of the dairy, it is very necessary to find out the marketplaces where we can supply these substances so that we can obtain the profit for longer period of time. Not only only finding the market area is important, but finding the sustainability of the market area is also very important, because we are not going to run our business for only 1 and 2 months. We need to run our business for larger years, for longer period of time. We are supposed to run our business. So we should find such market area which is sustainable, which can find the consumers without any difficulty. Only then we can obtain the profit from such markets area. If we can only supply our products in the market area for 1 to 2 months, then for rest of the year we'll have to bear huge amount of loss. So only finding market area is not stable for us. We have to find the sustainable market area so that we can obtain huge amount of profit by selling the meat products, by selling the milk products to the market area for longer period of time. Yeah. So basically, market area, as we have discussed last time also, there are several types of market area where we can sell our substances without any difficulty, or the market area moves through varieties of the channels. Once we have collected the milk products, once we have manufactured the milk products or the meat products, we can directly supply it to the consumers. The consumers will be present in our surrounding areas, so we can directly supply the substances to the consumers without any difficulty from our farm itself or from our dairy itself. Besides this, we can also supply it to the supermarket area. The direct consumers are there who visit our farmland and they can directly buy from our farmland. Besides that, we transport our products and supply it to the supermarkets, departmental stores, or any other retail shops that are present in our surrounding areas. Besides this, we can supply it to the wholesalers, and from the wholesalers, it can be moved to the supermarket or the smaller shops that are present in the surrounding areas. Anyway, we should find some type of marketplaces which are sustainable in nature from which we can obtain the huge amount of profit for longer period of time without any difficulty. Besides this, to find the market area, the advertisement of our dairy products is also very necessary. That also plays very important role in finding the market area for the smaller dairies or for the bigger dairies that are present in our surrounding area. As long as people know about our products, as long as people know what kind of ingredients are present in our products, what is the durability of our products, and what is the quality of our products, they will be willing to buy those products for longer period of time. And they will be known about those things if we do the proper advertisement. People do not know about the name of our product, it would be very difficult for them to obtain the benefit. It would be very difficult for them to obtain any type of benefit, or difficult for them to particularly okay, it would be very difficult for them to choose our product without any difficulty. So it is
मैम
very
मैम
necessary. Yes, yes.
यो सोभन्दामा फेरि यो फेक आएको हो
Things that we need to make a proper business plan. As you have already studied in medicinal plants also, business plan तिमीहरूले medicinal plants मा पनि पढिसक्यौ okay ना? So can you tell me what type of business a thousand buffalo farm? ले. So can you tell me about the business plan that we can run for thousand buffalo farming? What type of things that we require for the proper planning of business plan of thousand buffalo farming? Can you tell me? The time is about to be finished, so hurry up. So as we have already studied, the demand of milk and milk products, as well as demand of the meat products in our surrounding area is increasing gradually. Yes or no? It is increasing day by day. People are demanding huge amount of meat of the buffaloes as well as huge amount of the skins of the buffaloes. The milk and milk products of the varieties of the cattle that are present in the surrounding area is also increasing day by day. So with the increment of these products, with the increment of these substances, or with the increment in the demand of the particular substances, demand of the milk and milk products, or demand of the meat and skin of the buffaloes in the market area, the production of these substances is also increasing. Each and every places comprises of the farmland that has huge number of the cattle, because huge amount of these substances or the substances increasing. So if we want to open such type of very careful in producing these substances, in producing or in opening our proper business plan, then only we can obtain a huge amount of economic benefit or a huge amount of profit from these particular facilities by selling these milk and milk products or the meat of the buffalo in the market area. So in this lesson, you will find out about the small scale business plan that can be made for the rearing of the thousand buffaloes. Last, we have studied in the medicinal plants. First of all, we need to know the name of our plants. Not only the estimated cost. As we all are very, very familiar, for the proper business plan, we should know the estimated cost, as well as we should also know about the revenue that we generate by selling the product into the market area. If we can easily file up the substances, if we can easily file up the total amount of the cost that we have induced in opening the business or in rearing the organism, as well as the total amount of revenue that we are selling the products into the market area, we can easily obtain, or we can easily know about the profit that we are generating from these particular substances. But before that, if we are going to open a small business plan, we need to know about the stream, what type of stream we are going to open, what type of cattle we are going to rear in those particular area, as well as the proper market analysis also should be done by the individual person for the proper business plan. So here, whatever it is given in your book, not a business plan, but it is a market analysis, or it is the cost and revenue management. It is generally a cost and revenue management. As you have already studied in the previous chapter, business plan thoroughly helps us to tell the type of business we all are running. What is the name of our firm? Who are the investors that are going to invest in our business? Similarly, what is the summary of our business? What type of business we are going to do? Similarly, what is our business description? What type of cattle we are going to rear? Whether they are the indigenous cattle, they are the hybrid cattle, from where we are going to bring that cattle. Similarly, how much production will be generated by rearing these cattle. This all should be analyzed, or this all should be made plan. So the case given here is simply the cost and revenue management that is obtained from the business that we have already set up. To generate the cost and revenue, we should always make a record of the cost and revenue. That is, recording is extremely essential to obtain the profit, or to find out whether we are at loss or we are at profit. So for that purpose, we need to record all the cost, and we need to record all the revenue that we have generated. As we all are very, very familiar, we need to spend huge amount of money in varieties of the things. Before we start the business, huge amount of money will be invested. So the cost generally is the investment that we have done from building of the shed to the rearing of the cattle and production of the milk before selling it into the market area. Huge amount of investment should be done by the people. We require to get certain amount of money in the state management. How much amount of money is needed for the state management or the management of the farmland in which we are going to raise cattle, that comes under the state management. This also should be recorded properly. Similarly, the money to buy the advanced breed of the cows and buffaloes are extremely very, very expensive. So the money that is needed to buy the advanced breed of the cows, and how many number of that breed of the cows and buffaloes that we have bought in our farmland, this should be recorded properly. Similarly, we also should write the proper record about the feed that we have bought from the market area. If we are going to rear it inside the city area, it is very, very difficult for us to find the open pasture land to feed these organisms. So we need to buy expensive feed from the area. So how amount of feed is bought from the market area, as well as what is the total cost to buy those particular amounts of the feed in the market area. This should be maintained very properly. This should be maintained or recorded very properly. Besides this, time and again, the medicine is to be provided to the cattle. We need to provide certain amount of medicine. We need to provide certain amount of the medicine, as well as we also need to give the proper vaccination. Time and again, the vaccination should be provided to the cattle. So this also should be mentioned, or this total cost for all of this should be recorded in our record book. Besides that, there should be the presence of the laborers to look after these cattle. So we should also find out about, or we should also record about the labor cost that we tentatively provide our laborers for rearing the cattle or for looking after our cattle. So these all things are the investment that we have done. So after that, after we have done all of this, after certain months, after certain time, the cattle will produce certain amount of milk. So we are supposed to sell this milk into the dairy farm, or we are supposed to convert it, process it, and convert it into the dairy products and sell it into the market area. So total amount of the selling price, total selling price that is quoted, that is quoted on the milk, also plays very important role whether we sensitively generate the
Mati,
huge amount of benefit, huge amount of profit by selling those
Mati ko?
products, or we will obtain the loss
Ye
by
ko?
selling those products into the market area. So fixing the selling price is also very important. Yeah. Particularly, the cost of production of Alita is 28.50. Yes, the cost of production per liter of milk is 28.50 rupees, whereas cost revenue generated per liter is 40. So the total cost we have invested, the total amount of cost that we have invested in raising the cattle, as well as in raising the cattle, as well as in producing the milk that is to be supplied in the market area, and the total amount of revenue that is generated by selling all those milk into the market area tentatively gives us the results of whether we are at the profit or we are at loss. If the revenue cost, if the selling price of the substance is lesser in comparison to the cost that we have invested in managing the sale, invested in rearing the cattle and production of the milk, we are at loss. But if our revenue generated is very higher in comparison to the cost or the investment that we have done in the cattle, then we are at a huge amount of profit. So from the table here, we can find out that we are at the greater profit, or this business fund is at the profit by selling the milk products into the market area. We only invest, we only invest 28.5 rupees for the production of the per liter of the milk, whereas we sell it at 40 rupees per liter. Because of this, 11.5 net 11.5 rupees of the profit can be obtained from per liter of the milk. And there will be huge production of the milk from the farm area. This farm area has used about 2,280 liters of the milk per year. So because of this, in 1 liter, we have 11.5 rupees of the profit. If we convert this profit into the huge amount of milk, or all 4,380 liters of milk, we can find out that greater amount of the profit has been generated by the individual person, or generated by the owner of this particular farm land. Here, so likewise, we can also, there are some things that can be added in the estimated cost of production of the organism. There may be the medical side, doctor there may be the rented farms, or so we can also add the cost of those things, and then we can tentatively allocate the selling price for the milk that we have generated, and find out about the revenue that we have generated by selling those particular amount of the milk products, or milk and milk products that are produced from our farmland, and easily find out whether we are at profit or we are at loss by doing this particular business. Yeah, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
So any problem up to here?
No, ma'am.
Sure. Are you sure you don't have any problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with this, your chapter is finished. In page number 183, there are given some question answers. Just go through the question answers. If you find any difficulty, you can ask me. Otherwise, this will be your homework next time. quickly